I'm Ashley Fetco.
And I'm Cayce Lynch.
We're millennials,
We're lawyers.
we're moms,
We're Swifties.
and we're best friends.
We are deep in the thick of paid working motherhood.
It's real, it's funny, and sometimes it's real funny.
But also, it's no joke.
It's the normal mess.
The normal mess.
The normal mess.
Nailed it. I have a debut to make. Are you ready?
A debut?
A debut.
Okay, what are you debuting? Yay! They're on the pod.
I grew this.
Oh my God. They're
Isn't that so cool?
pretty. I couldn't tell from the video you sent me. I couldn't tell the sheer size of them, especially that big guy there in the back.
Yeah. Yeah. This is called a
Holy-
dinner plate dahlia.
Dinner
And
plate
it's like
dahlia.
almost the size of my head, and it makes
It's
me
the size
so
of your
stinking
face.
happy. I brought them in yesterday morning. So
Yay.
Yay.
Oh, that's so good. They're so beautiful.
so
They are
good.
beautiful.
Thank you, thank
Okay.
you. Okay, roadmap today. We have some hair to talk about,
We do.
ladies. Intro
Always
segment.
have hair news.
Hair part 2.
Yes.
Then tofu of the episode today, we're talking about what bars we've set in our lives, which ones we've accidentally created, and which we've intentionally created.
Yes.
Okay, love it.
Love it.
And then we're going to finish up with a OG millennial game of Would You Rather.
Love it. You didn't tell me what our you were just like, I have something funny for the final segment. And so I don't know what this is.
Would you rather?
Would you rather? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
It's going to be fun.
It's going to be fun. Okay, let's talk hair.
All things hair. Go.
All things hair. All right. So, you may remember a couple of episodes ago we were talking about how you and I have a different relationship to change. And we've talked
100%,
about this
yes.
previously, even when you
Yes.
when you were talking about like the mental gymnastics that you went through to make the decision to cut your hair.
Yes.
It made my brain fall out that like that's the amount of like weighing. I was like, oh my God, I've never thought about it in that way. And so a couple of episodes ago, I mentioned that I was like getting that itch for change that I get. And so then I was like, maybe I want to dye my hair red again. Like I had my hair red after I had my daughter.
Which you posted on LinkedIn recently.
I did.
It was
I
so
know
sweet.
It
And such a sweet
and people
photo.
were like, "Oh, the red, like the redhead." I loved it, but it was very high maintenance. Like the red.
Why?
is-
How so?
Well, a couple of things.
Does it fade or
First of all,
something?
a little bit, but my hair has a tendency to veer warm, like which I don't actually like. And you'd think with red that would be fine, but what that turns into with red is orange. And so there's like a lot of toning that has to happen. The other reason that it's very high maintenance is this: when I'm naturally like a dirty blonde, which we're going to talk about momentarily here.
Okay.
And so when my roots start coming in and I'm red or any shade that's too dark, it looks like I'm going gray. Because the difference
Oh.
between my natural and whatever like darker
Yes.
color is actually so stark that when it first started happening, I was like, oh my God, am I going gray? Like I'm a new mom and now I'm an old mom. Like I have gray hair. And I went into my stylist, what up, Natalie? And she was like, no, girlfriend, no, this is just like
This is just blonde hair.
when your
coming in.
blonde comes in and it's like in contrast to another color, there's just a lot of upkeep with red. So anyway, so I was like, okay, I can't really go red, but I wanted to do something different and I did not want to do bangs. How proud are you that I did not? This is growth in real time, people, because
Ladies and
historically,
you've
Cayce
arrived.
has seen me through so many eras of bangs because I'm just like, I
We're
did
just-
it again.
No, we're constantly in a state of bang. We're just fresh bang, bang grow out, or wanting bangs again.
It's true. It's true.
Yes.
But I've got my little side swoop and I'm just
Yes.
going with the side swoop.
I love it.
So what I did instead was I did darken my hair and did like a toner. Natalie's going to listen to this episode and be like, that's not at all what I did. But it doesn't, I don't know like the full process of what you did.
Go ahead, girlfriend. Butcher it. Tell us what you did.
So for anyone, I don't know if you can see me, anyone who's watching can see that clearly, I have it's a different kind of shade, right?
Yes.
Than what I had previously. It's darker, it's a little bit richer, and here's what's really cool about it. Are you ready? It is about 75 different colors. Because yeah, which is incredible. And she didn't go in and paint 75 different colors. She just like left my natural out in some places. So there would be like some added depth and dimension.
Yes. That's what I texted you. I was like, there's a lot of dimension to it.
Yeah, and it's not because she went in. That's just the way that look at this.
Yes,
so,
it's
and what's so
gorgeous.
cool is that there's like in certain lighting, it is red, but in other lighting, it's like this like dark, rich, like almost brown, like almost. So when she was done, she was like, "This is Teddy Bear Brond," and I was like, "What? What is Teddy Bear Brond?" I love that we're just rebranding. Like this is dirty blonde, basically, is what this is, I think, or like dishwater blonde, which like I always used to hear growing up that I had dishwater blonde hair, and I was always like, ew, that sounds gross. But Teddy Bear Brond, I can get on board with. We're just rebranding hair color. But I am obsessed with it. I think that it works with my coloring really well. I've been highlighting my hair for so long that I don't really know. I think that this is actually what my hair would be, and I'll just let it grow and just like confirm it. But I am loving it, and it feels healthier, and it's satisfied my need for a change without doing something drastic like red or bangs. So, growth.
Love it completely. Natalie, hats off to you. You did amazing.
She's the best. I've been
really,
seeing
really
her
gorgeous.
for years and years and years. I've known Natalie longer than I've known you.
Oh, Natalie.
Isn't that
this
wild?
Is so cool.
Yeah,
yes.
she's the best. She's the best.
Do you feel like your little itch for change is scratched?
Yes, but that is also because I have some fun projects that I'm working on as well, and that's helping. And that's
good.
Yeah.
Good. All right,
Yes.
Natalie, you did your part, my friend, and I'm excited to meet you.
Keeping me sane. I know. I can't believe that you haven't met her. I'll rock my Teddy Bear Brond until I'm like, okay, time for bangs. Go back to blonde and give me some bangs.
Oh my gosh. All right.
Let's go.
We're talking about bars. I want to talk about bars today.
And there are so many. We're not talking about prison bars.
No.
And we're not talking about
Drinking bars.
And we're not talking about bar exams to become lawyers.
Yes.
The world is full of bars, and those are 3 that we are not discussing today.
Yes. We're talking about those we set in our life, the ones that happen accidentally or the ones that happen on purpose. And how this topic came to me is I was speaking with another friend. And when I admit things like this to you, it's like I'm cheating on you. So first of all, I'm sorry. I'll never do it again. Something. I had another friend I was talking to.
I know. Who was she? Was it worth it?
No. Yes, it was. Yes. But I regret it.
I know. That's so
And we were talking about this friend's child going away to summer camp. This child's older, and they're going away to summer camp. And they talked about how the child's birthday is over summer camp. And the first year this child went away, they put together these special like prizes for everyone to and then hid it in her bag. So when she got there, and then on her birthday, she would see that everyone in her cabin gets these like kazoos or like whatever it is, right?
Okay, that's adorable.
And they're like, so now we're in year 3, and when we're in the build up to the thing, and now I've set this bar where what if I mess up and I forget something and my sweet poor child goes away to summer camp and I've forgotten the kazoos or whatever I did in year 1 that this child now comes to expect, and anything less than that is now gonna break their heart while they're away from home on their birthday. It wasn't what they like came to expect.
Yeah.
And this hit me to my core because so much of motherhood, I did not realize this was a thing before becoming a mom. And in those early years, I wanted to go big. Like we talked about full chalance. Like there are things when I have the energy and I'm feeling it and I love it and the stars are aligning. I love a celebration. I love a party. I love a dinner. I love a big cake. I love decorations. I love costumes. I like all the things.
A themed snack.
Oh my gosh, a themed snack.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All the things. And I did not realize once you do it, there's no going back.
There's no going back.
If you do, it's very, very difficult to pull it back. So what are your feelings and thoughts, experience on this?
Oh my God. This topic is evergreen. And it's like, okay, so we do it in our personal relationships too, you know? Mm-hmm. But with motherhood especially, there are all these accidental bars that you set. Let's talk bedtime. Okay, let's talk bedtime, baby. So, you know, Lil Spice historically was not a sleeper. Knock on all the wood, girlfriend is like actually sleeping a little bit these days. And I'm like,
at age 5, baby just Jesus. For the record, for those listening.
Yes, age 5. My daughter has discovered that sleep is a thing.
Like almost 5.5, by the way.
Yes. Yeah, literally. So what happened when Lil Spice was not a good sleeper? I say as though this was like some ancient chapter of history. And
it was 3 weeks ago, people, but keep
up
going.
Until 3 weeks ago.
Okay.
Was that we created inadvertently this very lengthy, like routine. I don't even want to say routine. It was like a catechism.
It was like, a ritual.
It was a ritual. Like it was the amount of things that we added on.
Tell me what it is. Quickly. Okay, Can you run through it very quickly?
Yes, because originally it was like, you know, when they're babies, you think like, aha, it's because they had this pacifier and you know, this
sound machine thing.
And this, right. Okay. Yes. So that's the winning combo. Right.
And
exactly.
And the blanket and the stuffy ready to go.
Yes. Okay. So then that's where it starts is like, okay, I think I found the magic. All right. So we got to the point at the end, where we did 3. So we would brush teeth, get in jammies, do 3 stories, rock in the chair, lay in the bed, play 2 different songs, 3 different times, turn on the hatch, turn off the hatch, go sit by the door, sit outside of the door for up to 2 hours while girlfriend potentially fell asleep. This is where we were. All right. And so bedtime, your brain just fell out of your ears, didn't it?
My brain just fell out.
So bedtime, a process that should take like 20, 30 minutes max, was like a 3 to 4 hour process.
It was mid-evening to middle of the night.
Correct. And then so like Ash and I are like sleeping on the floor outside of the bed, outside of her room, because it was like the only way that she would go to sleep. And then like pretty much on the same night, he and I just reached a breaking point. We were like, we are done. Like we keep setting, not only did we set this bar, now we just keep raising the bar and raising the bar and raising the bar and raising the bar. And what happens is like in the process of doing all of these things, we've made it so that she cannot sleep because because we've created all of these crutches.
She's waiting for the next event to happen.
Right. All right. Well, now we've added this song. Now I need to hear it 3 times. Now you need to hop on one foot and touch your nose and right. Okay, so we just were like, girlfriend. We had a family meeting, and it was happening with Lil Sweet, our son, as well, who's actually a great sleeper, but then like he wants in on what's happening over there. We've got some
what's going on in this ritual party.
Right, all right. So you're going to sit outside my room too. And
we're doing a full moon seance over here. Let me get in on this.
Exactly. Get out the Ouija board. So we like had a family meeting, and we were like, tonight the world is completely different. We are not doing any of these things. We are reading a story and we are getting in beds and we are walking away. Like you are sleeping.
Good for
that
you.
Is it. All
Good
of it
for
is
you.
done. Like, we are not changing colors on the hatch machine, which is the sound machine and light combo. If you want your light on, you may have it on white up to a certain point. There is no music. Oh, because then they wanted music playing through the sound machines, which interrupted their sleep. So we were like, there is no sound. There is no music. We are not playing songs. We are not rocking you. We are not laying down in or outside of the room. We are reading one story and that is it. Lights out, over, goodbye. See you in the morning.
And then
And it
how
was a
long
struggle
did
for,
that
like,
take?
It was a struggle for like 2 or 3 nights.
Yeah.
And then that was it. So setting the bar at bedtime is a very dangerous game.
It really is. It really. Oh, but
And
in
that was
so
one
many
that was
ways,
set-
it's a dangerous game.
In so many ways. And that was one that was set accidentally, right? It's not like
Yes.
I'm like, it's one thing if you're like, I really love bedtime. I want to make this my whole freaking personality. Okay.
Said no one ever.
Said no one. Like, I guess I support that for you, crazy person. Like, lean into that if that's your personality. But it was just like an accidental, and then we're
I'm so proud of you for identifying it and walking it back successfully.
this is 95% Ash, who was just like, I was at the end of my rope, and he was just like, we need to stop. We cannot do any of these things ever again.
I know.
I was like, you're right. Save me. I can't do this anymore. Okay, so what's a bar that you've accidentally set? And then I want to talk about bars that we set intentionally.
Okay. Bars I've accidentally set. The one that's coming up for me right now, I actually am okay that I set it. I just need to find a way to better manage it.
Okay.
So maybe you can give me, and I have thoughts about this, but I don't know if it's actually realistic. So on our very first Father's Day, when Mike was a father the first time, our child was 4 months old. Our oldest children were 4 months old that same month.
Yes.
I made Mike a Father's Day Shutterfly photo book of pregnancy and like her prenatal pictures leading up to those first 4 months. And I'm like, and he said like he loved it. He's nostalgic too. Talk about the nostalgia episode.
Yeah.
Like he's so nostalgic. Loved it. And he said, this is such a cool way to get the photos off our phones and like into something that we can see. And
It is. Yeah.
we should do this more often. And I'm like, you're right. We should print photos more often. Okay. With all due respect to my sweet, loving husband, who I will do anything for, when he says we should print these more often, it means you should print these more often.
Right.
I don't think the man knows the first thing about creating a photo book, but he could learn if he were interested. Okay.
He could.
So now it is a thing in our 5th Father's Day that every Father's Day I make an annual photo album of the last June to June.
Woof.
And I love that I do this because they sit in our living room on a shelf at the girls' level where they go pick them up. It's not every week, but it's at least every month. They go pick up a photo book of their lives any year, right? And it's the year my oldest was born, the year my youngest was born, oh, the blah, blah, blahs. And there are like 600 photos in these. Like it is the largest book Shutterfly will make. It is a financial investment. And it is a time investment to pick the photo because we get 15,000 photos a year or whatever, right?
Oh,
So I have to pick the
yeah,
600 out of 15,000. Okay. So every Father's Day in like the month or two leading up to this holiday, I get this sinking feeling in my gut like, girlfriend, you better start making that photo book. You better start making that photo book. And I've been okay every year leading up to this, but now there's no way Shutterfly will turn this book around in 2 days. So the book's just going to be late. And so now I'm like, these are family cherished things. There is guilt. I told him he told me I'm off the hook on the timeline. He's like, just make it when you can make it. Okay. But if I don't get my acting gear, then it'll be another 6 months. So to make this unintentionally set high bar more manageable, I either need to cut back on the number of photos that I put in and like just go through my favorites reel from the last year. Cause I do pretty regularly save favorites to the favorites folder. Or I need to, like every quarter, I wish there was an AI thing that would do this for me. That's like, here's the photos from the last quarter that are your highlights that you don't have to manually select. But anyway, I need to do it on a more frequent basis because then they're selected and I'm done. I think I have to go with the more frequent basis because the girls love the 600 silly photos, like the ones of them with food in their mouth and like the real life stuff, not just like the posed favorites that I put in there and the ones that are hidden in the camera roll that they don't see very often. So that was a long tirade. I'll cut that down in editing, but dang, I'm just,
Yeah, that's a lot. Well, and I also want to point out for you, not to like make it worse, but you also do this for New Year's.
I do this for New Year's and
with your Instagram stories.
And
which is incredible. But
I'm going to change the way I do it for Instagram this year. Instead of making it a story, I'm going to literally go to InShot and I'm going to make it a movie so that it's like one photo after another and it's a long video, but then I'll post the long video if Instagram will allow me to do that. But because the stories got unmanageable and it took 2 days last year to do it, it was awful. So,
yeah, that's when you just got to do a cost benefit analysis, you know?
I know. I remember as a kid looking back on family photos from when I was little and loving it. I just loved it.
Yeah, I need to do that. I need to print a bunch of photo books because I have so many photos. And I print like photos for our walls and, you know, photos around the house and stuff. But it would be nice to have photo books. As you're talking about like this bar that you've set for yourself that is now causing you stress. I'm like, maybe I should set that
maybe
bar
I
for
should
myself.
set that bar for myself too.
Yeah,
no, it's
good.
just
I need that bar.
Yeah, I think it's a lot. I think technology is going to get there where it's going to help me make this easy. The thing that has gotten better, let me say, is Shutterfly does have an AI service. I think it's AI where it creates the book for you. And you just push in chronological order, use all of my photos, most of my photos, and it does 90% of the work so that when I'm actually in the book, it's not like when I made the wedding book 8 years ago where I had to manually move every little photo on every little page.
That's good.
So I do think technology is my solution.
Does it get smart about like what size photo and like the orientation? And okay, that's good.
And
that's
every
good,
once in a while I have to change it. Like, no, this one's so good. I want this one to be the big one on the page, you know, and I switch them. But it does 90% of that very well.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, I have no tips for you on that other than technology probably will help you. I mean, it sounds like it's a worthwhile thing. Everybody in the family loves it. You love it when it comes. It's just the
leading up to it. It's hours and hours and hours of work.
Yeah.
Okay. What's one bar you have intentionally not set for yourself in motherhood? I have one. You want me to go first?
Yeah.
It's the one you know. It is June 2026, and I, Cayce Lynch, hereby affirm on this recording that is to be published to the world that I will never do Elf on the Shelf for my children.
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah, I
will never, ever, ever, ever do it. That sounds like my worst nightmare next to running a marathon. And what was the other one I said? Meal prepping. Take me now, Jesus. I cannot. I would never, ever, ever do it.
I am an Elf on the Shelf mom. And there are nights in December when I'm like, why did I do this to myself? But most nights in December, it's actually really fun. And every morning in December, they get to discover where he is and the mischief that he's gotten up to. But I will say this, within Elf on the Shelf, there are bars that I do not set within that. So there are some moms, and I shouldn't just say moms, because Ash, it's a joy. This is part of what I like about it.
He's into it.
He's in it with me, so it's not like I'm just every night like, oh, what do I got to do with Elf? He's like, ooh, I came up with this. I saw this reel. Let's do that. I always write the notes because I developed an Elf-specific handwriting.
Listen to this bar, people.
Okay, I do the
She
notes.
developed an Elf-specific handwriting for the
It's really
notes.
cute. I know. I am not going to pretend that it is not a lot of work. Sometimes the notes are very short because I'm just like, I just don't have it in me to do this handwriting. But it is a thing that Ash and I do together. But there are some families that like, they will dump powdered sugar all over their kitchen and like on the floor, and or have like the bathtub overflowing with bubbles, or have cereal, or turn their toilet red, or what. And I'm just like, there are bars for us that we're like, we are never doing that, because once the kids see that will be the level of the shenanigans that they expect. We just do like, Elf is hiding in the tree, Elf is riding a train, Elf, made a little game for you guys to play, Elf brought you marshmallows. Like, we do cute, easy things. So even with that, there is a limit. The limit does exist, to quote Mean Girls. The limit does exist. What's a bar that I have intentionally not set for myself as a mom? Man, I don't know. I don't know that I have like a
I know one that I do that you're like, I don't do that on purpose.
I do not write a Christmas letter since we're on Christmas. I love yours. I read it. I cherish it. I love it when it comes in. I know, like, when that envelope comes in, I'm like, if it's Cayce's, I know what it is, and I love it. Even though I know it. Like, I know what you've done for the past year. I'm still like,
and then you grade it. You're like, that was a mediocre highlight.
That was a B plus. No. Your letter this year, A minus. No, it's always an A plus. But since we're talking about holiday things, I do not do that. Because while I love the card, we do a holiday card every year, and it's like the old school, it's not just an e-card or whatever. I love
physical card.
Yeah. I do that, but I cannot with the letter. It's too much. It's too much. I don't.
That's fine. But it kind of surprises me though, based on how much you love to write, because I'd love to write it. It just flows for me. Like, it's just like, here's a letter. But I get it. We all have our things.
I write a poem for my kids' birthdays every year. I could never do that. I'm not poetic. I can't write poetry. Yeah. You are a poetic land mermaid, but you're not poetic in the sense that you write poems.
Deal.
Yeah. I don't know.
I think that's fair. I think it's super fair.
And I think, like, when you're choosing which bars to set, it's also, so much of this kind of hints at tradition, like what are the traditions that you willingly engage in? And, we do the big, I say we, but really it's I, because I'm the party maniac. Ash is always like, can we scale it back on the kids' parties? We don't really need to go this all in. And I'm like, no. And that is a choice that I have made, because I want, birthdays are a big deal to me. I think it's really special and fun. And I want my kids to know that I want them to feel like truly special and cherished, like all the time, but especially on their birthday. So like, I go all in on that. We set up an email account for each of the kiddos, and I write them a letter a couple of times a year, but specifically on their birthday, I write them a letter and email it to them, and I'll attach some photos or whatever, and I do that. And then, sometimes just over the course of the year, I'll be like, hey, funny day at the zoo today. Look, you were making a funny face. And I'll just like email it to them, with the idea that when they turn 18, they'll get the password to that email, and they won't know until that day that it even exists. And then they'll log in and see, like, time stamped with the time that we sent them these email letters. That's a bar that I will happily set and continue to meet. But bedtime bars, no, hard pass.
Something that you brought up that really hit home with me, talking about setting bars, it's also like beyond holiday traditions, family traditions, annual traditions. We also set bars in our relationships with other people. Like, these are bars in our motherhood and our relationships with our children, and things they come to expect, or we come to expect. It's mostly them expecting from us, let's be honest. But when we do things with other people outside of motherhood, it also sets a bar there, things that they may come to expect from you. And you kind of introduced this, took the concept further for me in that way. Speak to us about that and what you've learned about that in your own life.
So I don't know I don't have the actual quote in front of me, but it's something like, be careful how you teach people, or be careful, is it be careful? Or just be mindful of the way that you teach people to treat you, where it's like the way that you respond to how people treat you teaches them what treatment is acceptable to you. Mm-hmm. And so when you were like, I have this idea for this episode, that's kind of where my brain initially went. I think because, we've talked about how neither one of us made great romantic choices in our early, mid, even late 20s. It took us really until like
it took a while,
30 to figure it out. That's not true. It took, late 20s we got there. But I think about this a lot because I think, in my early romantic years, but even in friendship too, I tolerated a lot of behavior and treatment from people that I absolutely would not tolerate now. And, and then what happens is you show them that's the expectation, that's the baseline. And then it might get better, but is that really the baseline that you want to be starting from is there? And I remember, in one relationship in particular, I remember so distinctly, everything felt like a power struggle. Everything felt like, well, if I give you this, then I'm losing ground in this way. And I'm showing you that then that's okay. And then, and I had this constant, I don't want to lose ground. If you're defaulting in a relationship to feeling like you're losing ground, that is a major, major, major red flag. Healthy relationships are not about losing ground or gaining ground, unless you're losing or gaining ground together. What are our goals? Where do we want to go next? Oh, well, if we take this step back in this way in order to, buy this piece of property or go on this trip, then that's going to, come at the expense of this other goal. That's okay when it's a joint decision that you're making as a unit. But if where your brain is going inside of a relationship is worrying about losing or gaining ground, my friend, run for the hills. That's red flag central. And so much of my early dating history and relationship history was predicated around this idea of because when you're operating from that position, you're already operating from a place of scarcity and fear and inequity and inequality there. The scale's already out of whack. If you're already feeling like you're losing ground, you're gaining ground, you're already not seeing each other as equals, and the scales are already out of whack with each other, if that's where you are. And so much of that comes from how you teach the other person to treat you. And the way that you teach someone how to treat you is by setting bars yourself for how you treat yourself, how you treat the people who matter to you, and the level of treatment and care that is acceptable to you. And the minute you accept what is less than you would give yourself, or less than what you would give someone you love, you're teaching them that behavior is okay. And this sounds like really, I'm oversimplifying, and it sounds maybe a little negative that you have to teach people. I never had to teach Ash how to treat me.
And that's
what I mean?
Yes. But this was so hard for me in my teens and 20s because I'm a people pleaser. Yeah. And and I also like to avoid conflict. It's weird, I'm a lawyer, but I don't like conflict. So if I could so easily be the one to drive further to accommodate the dinner, then they come to expect that I don't mind driving further to accommodate the dinner every time, instead of okay, this is a one-time exception type thing. It's a really silly example, but when you're constantly willing to accommodate, to sacrifice something yourself to accommodate another person's happiness, ease, convenience, blah, 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 then they come to the wrong personality will not see that as an act of friendship and kindness and grace and love. Will see that as us bending to their will. And that with the wrong personality mix, that's not good. Okay. And I had to have some run-ins with those wrong personality mixes to figure this out. It's kind of like in motherhood, because going back to motherhood, it's like one of the things, I don't know if it was I think my pediatrician told me this when we were dealing with my oldest starting to really push boundaries around the age of 1. Like, where can I go? What can I touch? What can I put in my mouth? Like all those tiny little things, right? Where they start figuring out where the perimeters are, where the boundaries are. And the pediatrician told me that the studies show it doesn't matter if you're a super lenient parent or a super strict parent. The number one thing that they found can indicate a child's success in the long run behavioral wise came where parents were consistent. So she's like, pick your bar, pick your lane. Are you going to be lenient? Are you going to be strict in your rules? And when you pick that lane, you got to be consistent. It's the kids who never knew where the boundary was going to come down that could not self-regulate, could not follow rules and all those things, right? So it's so in parenthood, it's so hard because I get tired and I'll say, please don't touch that. You know, like, we're not playing that game tonight. It's time for bed. This happened last night. It is bedtime. Go back to bedtime. It's bedtime. The 3-year-old sees a game in the closet that's open in her room. First of all, why is that game in there? But sees a game in the closet. She wants to play. And I said, sweetheart, it's bedtime now. It's time to start calming our bodies down. We're not going to play a game. She goes and takes out the game. I'm brushing older sister's hair. Sweetheart, we're not playing that game. Opens the game. Sweetheart, you're not listening. So I'm going to I've said no game tonight. It's time for bed. I had to go over and physically take the game from her. Right. If I would not have stopped what I was doing, got up, removed, and of course it was a complete meltdown. She's tired. It's bedtime. I just took away something she wanted. But if I don't choose to have that fight and hold that boundary, then she's like, the next time I say, we're not doing this now. She's like, but are you serious? Are you real? Let me check.
Game
Let
on.
me figure it out.
No pun intended, but game on. Let's see.
Game
How far
on.
can I push this?
I know.
Yep.
It's the same. In the wrong relationship, it's the exact same.
Yeah, it's really true. And like for me, you know, I'm a planner, and one of the ways that I show love for someone is like by planning or like by hosting. I love hosting. You know, we have barbecues. We love bringing our people here, and by our people, I mean like our friends, anybody we met. The kids had soccer on Saturday, and I met one of the moms at the soccer game. She and Lil Spice were her daughter and Lil Spice were being really cute little friends, and so I made friends with the mom. And so then they were playing at the park afterward, and she and I were just following them around and chit-chatting, and we just like really hit it off. So I was like, hey, you want to come to our barbecue later? Like, come on over, you know?
I'm going to need to know her name and address immediately so I can shut this down.
I know. I was cheating on you this weekend.
How dare you?
I made a friend, and she's also brunette. So, I mean,
Oh.
I just, you know, clearly I have a type, but she's not a Scorpio. So,
Okay, deal.
okay. And so it's like, we love hosting. That's like one of the ways that we show care. But I've had friendships even recently where I'm like, I'm always the one inviting you to go, let's go get a manicure. Hey, you want to come over? Let's go have dinner. You want to meet for coffee? I can bring you and at some point I'm okay with that up to a point, but then it's like, okay, but now I'm just showing you that like, now I'm teaching you that this friendship is one-sided, and like you're showing up, you'll come do the thing, but like you never asked me.
But you don't have to initiate.
I know. Like it's like I'm teaching you that that's how this is going to roll, and this is not how this is.
Let's go back to We Water This Grass episode in season 1.
Yes, I need in my friendships,
street.
I need my grass watered too.
Yeah.
You know,
I have an example of this in work that happened to me really early in my career.
Ooh, okay.
It's really interesting. So when I started out, I'm actually at the firm I'm at right now. Our boss's name is Bob. Hi, Bob. He never listens. Bob. But I was working on this case with Bob and then another senior lawyer who was like my team leader. And Bob was going to be the lead trial attorney. My team leader was going to be second chair, and I was going to be the minion in the back of the courtroom doing whatever needed to be done, right? But we're preparing this case for trial. There's been policy limit demands, all these things. And the carrier was very active in like knowing what was going on. And the way it kind of works in a lot of firms, just so people know, is like sometimes the first chair is someone who's lived with the case and knows it inside and out and they got it. Other times the first chair for trial is picking the case up very close to trial because they have so many cases. And that's the situation we were in. So Bob came to join the team in the months leading up to the trial, and he was learning the case so he could own it and digest it and present it to the jury. And I had worked a full day, and this was, weeks into preparing together, but I had worked a full day one particular day. I got home. It was late. It was probably 9 or 10 o'clock. I was just sitting on the couch watching TV, and I get a pop-up on my phone that I got an email, and it was an email from Bob asking a question just about like the facts of the case. And it was something that I knew off the top of my head. So I just picked up my phone and wrote like 2 sentences back answering the question. It was super easy to do. And the next day I got into, and then that was it. And like, just moved on. The next day I get into the office and my team leader person at the time, who I was primarily reporting to, told me never to do that again. And I was like, what? And he was like, yeah, you're making the rest of us look bad. And it was and as I put 2 and 2 together, it's like, I was teaching Bob my boss, that I was like a responsive person that he could ask a question of, and if I knew it, I would answer it at whatever hour. I was in a place in my life where I could be that responsive. I wanted to be that responsive. I was growing my career. It was no big deal to me. But this other person was at a very different phase in life and did not have the interest, the drive, the capacity, whatever it was, to do this thing, and was like, don't set that bar, is basically what that person was telling me. Because when you're setting that bar for yourself, and we're all on the emails, then you're setting the bar for us too. And I'm like, well, that sucks. So of course I completely disregarded this person's advice, and I continued to be myself, my true authentic self, responded when I knew the answer, blah, blah, blah. And it did all work out, and that person no longer works for us. But it's like, it's true.
It is true. But what is a bar for you need not be a bar for someone else.
Also true. And like, I never said that person took that on themselves and like maybe had some insecurity issues or whatever. But but I think that we even treat our coworkers and teach our coworkers with the bars we set on the level of collaboration, of support, of responsiveness. And again, you don't want to do it to the point where you're doing someone else's job for them or someone's walking all over you. But because again, even work relationships are two-way streets where we should be supporting each other and all these things. But that's the bar I wanted to set for myself. That's the professional I wanted to be. That was in line with my values and my goals. And I'm proud I did it. And I think that having that setting the bar where I did, maybe unintentionally at the time, I worked out really well for me.
Yeah. Well, it's even like, I was in a meeting with someone a couple weeks ago, and they were like, I love having meetings with you. And I was like, thank you. And it was like, and they said, because you're always so chipper. Like you're just always so happy. Even when like we're dealing with hard stuff, you're just like always so positive. And in my brain, I was like, am I doing that? Like, I had to kind of gut check myself a little bit. Like it was a compliment, and that was really nice. But it made me go, first of all, should I always be, am I coming off as unhinged? To go back to like, I don't use all exclamation points in my email. I will put in a period occasionally so I don't look like a total psychopath. And I was like, do I want to be that? And then it was like, is that genuine to me? And I literally just went through this exercise internally, because you're just mindful of like, okay, then, and I've had the flip side happen where someone has like then responded to one of my emails and been like, is everything okay? Because I'm like, we need to, I adopt like more of a serious tone, or like, I need to see this done, please.
There was only one exclamation point.
Exactly. I only
Are
said
you
thank
okay?
you with 1 exclamation point instead of my normal 7, you know? And it's like, okay, it's kind of like the expectation for how people, believe that you will engage with them and show up in the world and show up in the work world. I'm hyper responsive as well. I'm also generally pretty chipper. Like, you catch me on an off day, I'm human. I'm not always going to be like, hey, occasionally I'm going to be like, hey, like, I'm not always going to be that way, but just sort of being mindful of, like, what is the source of that? And is it serving you? Is it what you really want to do? Is it an expectation that you feel someone else set the bar for you? Because that actually is not real. Like, I think sometimes we think that, just like your previous colleague, we think that let me say this again. We think that the bar that someone else sets for themselves is necessarily the bar that has been set for us, but the only people who can truly set the bar for us are ourselves.
I'm sitting with that. I'm just sitting with that. I think I agree with it, except for, how do I say this?
Obviously, at work, there are some, like, your job expectations are your job
Thank
expectations.
you. That's where I was going with it. It's like, I
Yeah.
think that's true, except for when it comes to meeting minimum requirements to do your job at your office.
100%.
But when it comes to, like, parenthood, like societal bars that might be set, or expectations that you have to throw your child a birthday party every year, or you need to make these photo books every Father's Day, or you need to do Elf on the Shelf or Christmas card. Like, those are all false bars that have nothing to do.
Or that I need to show up and be chipper and positive all the time.
Completely.
That's not a bar. I mean,
No.
nobody else could be like, well, Ashley, you bet. You know what I mean? That's not really, setting aside, like, and it's the same in parenthood. There are baseline expectations that are requirements.
Of course.
You must care for your children. You must ensure that they are safe and healthy and fed and clothed and all of these things. Yes. That's not what we're talking about. That's
beyond
kind of
the baseline. Any
Right,
bar
beyond the
set above
baseline.
the baseline has to be set by you to be valid.
Correct.
Or to apply to you. Has to be set by you to apply to you.
Yes, exactly.
And we've talked about moving that bar back down, or like reeling those expectations back. So as my career grew, I had to reset the bar for responsiveness. Because it is humanly impossible to respond with that level of quick responsiveness to everyone every single day, all the time. There is still a core 2 people that I report to who get that level of responsiveness. As soon as I get their email and I see it, regardless of time of day or day of the week, I respond. Everyone else, there was someone, literally my good friend at work, Mina, told me probably 2 years ago, you can't respond to every single partner in our firm with that level of responsiveness. She's like, you can move that bar down a little bit. And it really helped me.
Yeah.
And nobody noticed or cared that I heard of.
It took Cayce 22 minutes to respond to me instead of her normal 2.
Dare she? She responded within 3 hours, not 1.
What the heck?
Yeah,
Where
no.
are the exclamation points? I only see
All those
periods in this
things.
email. There is a semicolon, but there is no exclamation point. Mm-hmm. Yep. All right, hit me with the would you rather.
Are you ready for this? I feel
so
like
ready.
these are old school games and questions that I can remember asking or answering when I was really younger. So they're supposed to be kind of weird or gross or like weird. So just go with it, okay?
They're supposed to be gross?
No, some of them are kind of gross. And I remember kids asking this when I was in middle school.
Okay.
Like, ew, all
Gotcha.
right.
All right,
I guess
I'm
I
ready.
got to pick one. All right, now here's the deal. You got to pick one, okay?
Gotta pick one.
And you can
Okay, no
explain
waffling.
why.
Okay.
But there's like no passes, okay? You ready?
I'm ready.
Would you rather live under the sea or in space?
Could I fly in space?
There's 0 gravity in space, so yes, you could do that. You could float in 0 gravity in space.
No, I think I would want to leave. I think I would want to live under the sea.
Me too. Yeah, me too.
Okay.
Would you rather oversleep every day for a week or not get any sleep at all for 4 days?
I would rather oversleep every single day.
Same. Sorry, bosses. I would rather oversleep for every day. Okay.
Yeah.
Would you rather be able to run on your hands or write with your feet?
Ew.
See?
I think I'd want to write with my feet. I would probably get more done that way. It's kind of gross, but I think it would be more useful. What about you?
If I could run on my hands, I feel like I would have a jacked upper body.
Okay.
So I was leaning towards that.
All right.
But it's like creeps me out. Okay. Would
Yeah.
you rather be able to speak every language in the world or be able to talk to animals?
I would rather speak every language in the world. Sorry,
Same.
animals.
Same. Would you rather be 11 feet tall or 9 inches tall?
Could I fly? Am I a fairy if I'm
There
9
is
inches
no part of this question that involves flying. Okay? I'm not going to modify the question to indulge your flying fantasies.
tall? Okay, then I'd rather be 11 feet tall, I guess.
Same.
I didn't realize
Same.
that every time I'm asking a clarifying question, it's can I fly? Okay, got it. I cannot fly. All right.
This one's so weird. Would you rather swim in a pool full of Nutella or a pool full of maple syrup?
Oh, Nutella. That's delicious.
But can you actually swim in it? It is so thick.
Maybe I'm just sitting in it and eating it.
All right,
No notes.
I'll go with that.
You do Nutella too?
Yeah, I would
All
too.
right.
Would
What
you
about a
rather?
pool full of Cool Whip?
Oh, Cool Whip would be
Cool
number
Whip all
one.
day. Yeah,
Then
easy.
Nutella, then maple syrup. Because I'm just
Yeah.
thinking of like the stickiness of the maple syrup. Like it won't come out of my hair. But somehow I
And
feel
I
like
don't-
Nutella would come out.
And I don't want to eat it. I don't want to eat maple syrup.
Yeah.
You know? All right.
Would you rather listen to an annoying laugh for a whole day or get tickled for 1 hour?
Oh man, I hate this question. I think I'd rather listen to an annoying laugh all day.
I think the same.
I
It depends
do
on the
not-
level of tickle.
I do not. Right. Like, are we talking like feather or are we talking like someone's, coming at you?
I'm going with
I
they're coming at you to tickle you the way I tickle my kids.
I hate that.
All right.
I hate
So I
that.
think it has to be the annoying laugh, right?
all day. All day.
This is going to get a good reaction out of you on this one. I just feel
Okay.
like it.
Okay.
Would you rather speak in a baby voice for a day or be spoken to in a baby voice for a day? I just feel like you have feelings on this.
I do. I'm spinning out in my head because I'm imagining our bosses like in our meetings with like baby voices.
I know.
Like everybody talks to
Everyone.
me with a baby voice.
I don't
think that-
have all the answers.
Okay, can I fly? I can't fly.
You
I
can't
think I'd
fly in
rather
this
have-
one.
I think I'd rather have people talk to me in a baby voice. What about you?
I think it would be less embarrassing to be spoken to
Yes.
in a baby voice, but it would be less annoying if I could be the one doing the speaking.
Yeah.
So it's like, do you want to go less embarrassment or less annoyance?
I want to go less embarrassment. Because if people
Okay.
don't know that it's like then they're like, what is happening? First, there's no exclamation points. And now she's talking to us in a baby voice.
That would reset the bar for you.
It would.
That would reset the bar for you. All right, you have to leave one behind, okay, and never have it ever again.
Okay.
Would you rather let go of music or would you rather let go of movies? I know, this one's so hard. This cuts deep.
Movies. I need music. I need it. I listen to music every morning. I mean, like any chance I get, I'm listening to music. I can't.
I think I'm following your analysis on this one because I don't
know?
watch, I love movies, but I don't actually
Right.
watch them that often where I feel like music is incorporated into almost every day of my life somehow.
Yeah. Same.
So I think I'd have to say goodbye to movies. Maybe we could still go to the theater. By theater, I mean like Broadway.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Sign me up for that all
Right?
day, baby.
Okay.
Broadway. Psh,
Yeah.
done. We solved it.
Sweet.
And then maybe we can fly
And then we'll go flying.
because every one of these questions feels like it needs flying. Okay.
Da, da, da. All right. Thank you
Those were
for today's
really fun.
episode.
Yeah, thank you. Those were fun. Those would you rather ones were fun. So tell us, like, if there were any would you rathers that you like strongly, vehemently disagree with us on, tell us.
Okay,
Like
I would
your team maple
also-
syrup.
Yeah. If we ever do this again, I think I'm going to leave feet out of the questions.
Please no feet.
Like that was across the line
was,
with
like,
feet, and I
super-
apologize.
And I just like have in my brain a mental image of you running, like when we do our foot race on our girls trip. Like I'm just imagining that we're like, okay, on your marks, get set, go, and then you like flip over exorcist
Yes.
style, and then like run on your hands, and it's terrifying. I want no part of that.
Deal. Deal.
Thank you guys. We'll see you soon.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
The Normal Mess podcast is created, edited, and produced by us.
To keep up with The Normal Mess, subscribe on your favorite podcast platform.
To help us grow the Normal Mess community, leave us a rating and a review. If you'd like a piece of this normal mess, just reach out.
Our email is thenormalmess@gmail.com, and you can find us on Instagram and TikTok at The Normal Mess.
Would you rather swim in a pool full of Nutella or a pool? I can't say that word. Pool.
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 Cool whip. Pool.
Okay, Stewie.
That's a Family Guy reference. Cool whip.
Hello, Stewie. All right.